Counter-Strike 2 is alive and well, and they have just dropped a huge bomb worth of information on everybody, including so much info about all the new maps and reskins and reshapes and reformats to the world that they're doing with all the different again map choices that they're bringing. A lot of talk about tick rates and their new sub tick rate system or sub tick system, which looks absolutely insane. Responsive smokes and how they're adapting some of the again smokes and different mechanics of that, and a whole lot more information in just the whole dump that we got today. A lot worth of Counter-Strike 2, on top of the fact that they said they're releasing summer of this year. So it's not just a myth, it's not just make believe. Counter-Strike 2 is a real thing. King, what's happening with Counter-Strike 2?
I mean, it's real. They weren't baiting everyone. It's a real breathing project. Insane. I'm not gonna lie, it's insane.
It's wild, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, like I feel like we should have, if it was real, we shouldn't have been this shocked of how much they were bringing to alter stuff. Like I'm gonna be real. This ain't like
True.
this ain't no Overwatch 2 type of thing. This ain't just gonna be a reskin with a couple of different things. You move a player or something. This ain't gonna be no like lighthearted
Even then
change.
though, like the reskin that they've done is like a really detailed reskin.
That's fair. But I'm not gonna lie. This goes beyond what I was even thinking that they
Right,
were gonna
yeah,
do with
I
this.
wasn't expecting them to
Counter
get anything
Strike,
to do with like the tick rates.
bro.
I wasn't I think the smoke thing for me is one of the craziest changes.
Now break it.
Like,
Now break it down, bro. Break it down, man. I know. I saw again more about the smokes. Just literally, just like insane. Just how it affects how it like it's affected by light now. You can fire bullets and grenades through it, and it
yeah, like
moves much more
yeah, the
responsive,
fact
much
it
more
has
lively.
the ability to like affect gameplay on an actual level. Like you're not just blind shooting through a smoke, like you
Mhm.
can, but you're gonna see the direction that the bullets are coming from, where the gun is shooting from. It's gonna create its own like air tunnel within the smoke.
Mhm.
What? Like if you throw a
It's
grenade
insane.
at a smoke, it blows up. It's gonna reveal
Mhm.
everything that happens in the explosion radius. That
Mhm.
what?
That's insane.
The plays that are gonna come out of like people like sort of quote unquote abusing the smoke is gonna
Mhm.
be insane.
Facts. Nah, like, and I think in my head, that's when you know it's a good change. When you start thinking of all the possibilities of stuff you can do with that mechanic or
Yeah.
whatever, like
It's fair.
alteration. Like
And that's the main thing. It's
it's
such
fair. But
a game mechanic. Like,
facts. It's equivalence, because as soon as you shoot through something, they're gonna see you shoot. So if they're
yeah,
in the right or wrong position, that's on them. But at least it's
it's
visible. It's
like
not like an overpowered
there's
thing.
no thermals,
Mhm.
there's no abilities that is gonna allow you to see through, there's no wall hacks.
Facts.
It's back to basics, which is one of the things I absolutely love about Counter-Strike.
Mhm.
It's man versus man, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. 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 And
It's as raw as it gets in terms
facts.
of actually,
Who can
like,
outsmart
testing the
each other
limits.
using the same tools?
Yeah.
Like literally. And it's just that was one crazy thing to me. Honestly, I was like, it's simplistic, but it works so much, and it looked really really good. Honestly, with all the different environments that they put it in, it actually filled up the space with like the like it went over the trash can and didn't just like fully engulf it. Like it looked really really up to date, really really solid. Like there was a point where I think they just threw. Somebody threw a grenade, yeah, the grenade in front of it, and then a portion of the smoke went away, and then somebody just got shot off of it because they didn't see it. Just again, so many different applications of it is just insane. But yeah, seeing a lot of this, like again, just the retouching and just the compilation of all these, all these different maps, whether it be, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're applying the right logic to the right maps. Like again, they have the touchstone maps, like like Dust 2, not really gonna get that
Mm.
much, tinkering with or whatever. They're not gonna get that much touch up. Upgrade maps like Nuke, they're gonna have again a bit more touch up, but not as much as something that didn't really need to be changed as much. Better lighting, better such and such, this, that, and the third. And then you're gonna have like maps like Overpass that have full overhaul capability. Like they're gonna be built from the ground up to really fit today's standard of play and still be that Counter-Strike classic. So having that differentiation and depth in all the stuff that they're adding, and again bringing back into the fold, I think that's really dope.
I think the biggest thing for me is that, like, Counter-Strike is very dark.
Mm,
It's very like, in terms of the color palette and the color pool that it uses, very
yeah.
dark game.
Hmm.
So I like that they've gone for the much brighter approach,
Yeah.
especially when you have like holding angles and stuff. It's tough when you're a CT character, for example, in an all dark blue navy suit, standing in a corner,
Mm,
and no one can see you. stuff like that, I hope isn't really much of an issue anymore. And I think the VFX touches that they've done is really cool as well. Like from the time you bring out a Molotov, you can see the liquid actually bouncing inside the bowl, and then the actual fire effects that come with it. Everything is just being so much like there's a lot of detail in the adjustments and enhancements that
Mhm.
they made, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, when just looking going down from all this stuff, like all the VFX, the sounds, gameplay visuals, the blood splatters, fire, the UI enhancements, all the audio
Yeah,
getting
literally.
redone. There's too much. There's almost too much that they did. Like, yo, this is. I feel like it's a much truer number two, a much truer sequel than than people would first realize. You know what I'm saying? And given
Yeah,
recent highlights,
definitely. I mean,
you know.
I think if you've been playing the game long enough, like I'm one of the ones that have taken a break, and Counter-Strike isn't really a game that I pick up. But if you are a vet, whether if you've picked up Counter-Strike once or twice, or you're completely new, the experience that you're gonna get is gonna be pretty good from what I can see.
And again, on top of that, they added a whole bunch of stuff like this. What was it? Community map making. They actually added like a lot of those tools for community map making for Source 2, like in that
Yeah,
engine itself,
they've made it easier, definitely.
which is again making that process a lot more accessible, and again just a lot easier to manipulate for a lot of people again who are into the map making stuff. And again, with the Source 2 engine, is going to be a lot of different updates to what we're seeing. That could be a big plus as well. So it's gonna be dope to see that stuff. And I wanted to touch on what I think is probably the most insane thing that it might go under the radar or might not, but this is really ridiculous. The sub tick system.
Yeah, no, definitely not gonna go under the radar because as
I hope people understand how insane that
most
is.
of the like a lot of the pro scene, or just people that take this game very
Mhm.
seriously, are gonna make a lot of noise about this, because this is
Mhm.
something that this is one of the changes that is gonna have the biggest impact in Counter Strike 2. Like all of the other visual enhancements and stuff like that is great, but this is something that people have been screaming
Mhm.
about since even when I was playing CS:GO. This is like, it's the
This
same shit. Like bullets not hitting, no rigging in Apex.
mhm.
A lot of the same cries have been happening over different games, but especially in Counter Strike, when those few seconds are literally that
Life or
important.
death. Life or death. And
So
since
this change is definitely
almost
gonna be good.
every single FPS that we know is based off of that tick rate system, and
Yeah,
how shit registers and stuff like that. So the fact that they've innovated in this fashion and created that subtick with a much more direct, again, with not just in between seconds, but an actual open format to where everything is tracked on the dot. Like, you just revolutionized FPS stuff. You're gonna have so much more responsiveness from every single game that you play. Like,
yeah.
this just changed the landscape. CS:GO just changed the landscape again, or Counter Strike, whatever in general. I'm having a hard time messing with all names. My fault, bro. It's
Yeah, it's
Source
weird.
Two.
It's like
Hella, they skipped all these damn.
Source 1.6 Go, and then they just went backwards on themselves to Counter Strike 2.
Facts. So Counter Strike in general is just changing the landscape, bro. This, like, it's ridiculous to think like, yo, bro, like they just like, yeah, new game's coming out. We're just gonna completely change, the level of quality behind FPSs forevermore, and just hope everybody catches up at some point. Like, yeah, again, I hope people really do catch it, but like, this is going to be insane. And honestly, like, I haven't played Counter Strike in a pretty long time. Honestly, I used to play in like high school. I used to play in like early college, and I just like kind of fell off it. But I'm down to get back into it, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
So
I,
legit, when you sent that link, I hadn't seen it. I uninstalled Valorant after I read the review.
I
I'm being so serious. Valorant no longer exists on my PC. I will wait until the summer. That's how serious it is.
Bro, it's really like that, man. It's really like that. So I hope we get to see more of this in like a early beta testing, which I'm sure they're gonna provide more details on the early beta
I don't
testing and all
think
that
they'll
stuff.
beta test.
Really, you don't think they will?
I don't think they will. No.
Mm. I got a feeling they might have a brief test. If it's coming in summer, it might be like a 3-day thing. It might be like a very short window, a very short limited test, like a very small one.
Maybe.
But if it's coming
Or
summer
like they'll just
2023,
disperse codes to like all the pros and all the people that would make good
oh
enough
yeah,
noise,
you're probably right.
and then that's it. That's all the content that we'll get from it.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But in any case, they said summer 2023, and it doesn't look like they're backing down on that with the information drops that they provide. And so,
Oh yeah, definitely. This looks ready. This looks ready to roll right now.
hey, I ain't gonna lie. It's looking like a good time to be a Counter Strike fan, man. It's a real good time because they
Yeah,
just
and obviously
less less.
Source Apex is built on Source, so
I mean, all I'm saying is
that's,
respect.
that's
When the OG steps out, all you can do is tip your hat and salute and respect, man. CS:GO or CS2, goodness, CS2, Counter Strike 2 coming summer 2023. That's actually insane.
yeah. I'm really looking forward to getting back into it. It's genuinely one of my favorite games of all time.
100%, 100%.